video, we're going to pick up where we left off previously, and that is working in the neck area. We'll proceed on to the back of the character and then maybe move to doing some work on the ears, on the head. We'll probably bounce back and forth on this particular model. Right now I'm using the Mud 2 brush, which is somewhat flat. I'm going to switch to the Build brush. And you'll find that a lot of times you'll have some of your favorite brushes that you just continue to use, and rarely will you use the entire array of brushes here. You just kind of find your own little favorites and keep them nearby in your presets or whatnot. You can also hit the space bar to bring up your tool set, and you can actually right click and add to the quick panel, and you can tell it what slot. Okay, add to quick panel, slot 1. And so when I hit space bar, boom, there it is. So I quickly get to it. Okay, and so I've got the pinch brush, and I'm just going to make a completely new preset, add preset. And double click, smooth 01. Okay. And I'm going to try this expand, because it's almost like an inflate tool. And I'll use just a regular brush alpha, kind of a soft draw mode here, or gradient draw mode. Add another preset. I'll just name it Inflate Soft. Okay. So I'm just kind of sketching this out actually. Okay, so the intention here is almost similar to a gator tail. How you have the kind of the spine protrusions, and then on the outer edges kind of have some additional spikes here. Very careful, I may have a turtle guy on my hand, so I'll be careful with that. But okay, go back to pinch. Oops. That way we make it a nice ridge. Okay, and before I go to the front, what I want to do is actually I'm going to sculpt out the ear, an ear type of fixture on the side of the head, and then bring some horns of some type along the side. So I'll switch to the head. use the clay tool here. Switch to build. Use the pinch tool, switch to draw mode, bring the pinch amount down, switch to a sharp brush alpha, okay, and switch to surface mode. And then when I'm in pinch tool, I will tend to get a sharper type of pinch, as you can see there. Okay, hit the 4 key. I'm not having enough resolution, so what I want to do is now go into live clay, and without going into a lot of detail here, I'm just going to quickly choose crease clay. Okay, and I already have a selection here in my presets. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. And what this is going to do is going to give me an additional amount of resolution, as you can see here, but it's also going to push in and create a crease. So this is really good for lips, eyes, wrinkles, things of that sort. Now the only drawback is when I go back to volume mode, it will even all this out, but I should still be able to keep much of this same detail as long as I have enough overall resolution. So for the most part, I'm probably going to stay out of volume mode at this point. And if I do, I'm probably going to go ahead and crank the resolution up a bit. I'm going to crank up the intensity because that's how much it's going to actually dig in. I'll hit the 4 key to turn wireframe off. And one thing you'll notice anytime you're in live clay tools, that you can adjust the detail here in your tool options panel. You can also crank the smoothing up. I'll bring it up to 0.5. You can also, on the fly, let me go back to wireframe, you can also increase the detailing by reducing your brush size. The smaller the brush, the more it's going to tessellate. So if you've got a large brush and you really need to tessellate a large area, then you're going to want to come over here and adjust your detail amount. Okay. I'll go ahead and turn wireframe back off. I don't want to do too much detail work here at this stage. I'll leave this be for now. What I'm going to do is go ahead and on the right side of the layer for the head, I'm going to create a sub layer by clicking this little plus icon. I'm going to add a little bit of resolution, not too much, close to the same amount that I have for the head. And now if I go under the objects section, here in the middle I click on the curves tool, and this is going to show objects that I can use to replicate along a curve or a path. And you have a number of different subdirectories that you can choose from. Okay, I'm going to choose simple, and what I'll do is go ahead and try to fit this point right here. I want to make sure conform is unchecked in the tool options panel. The reason for this is because I want this curve to go out, and I don't want it necessarily trying to stick to the object. If I did want to make it follow along the contours of a surface, then that's fine. Conform is alright for that. So I'm going to create another point. I can middle mouse click to move this on the fly if I want. I can right click, drag left and right to increase or decrease the radius. I'm going to create another point here. I'm going to undo and point something out. If you have this little green sphere, okay, that's showing your brush size, and it's no different than working with a brush for any other tool. If you go outside and right click, drag left and right, you're navigating, okay, so keep that in mind. But as soon as you bring it over an object in the scene, now when you right click and drag left and right, you can scale. You can also use your bracket keys to do the same thing. Alright, so with that done, I'm trying to go to an angle. Let's see, use my bracket keys to scale it down a little bit. I can always resize it thereafter, so I'll not be too concerned with the size at this point. Okay. Now I'll use my bracket keys to bring it to a very small point. I'm going to right click over the point to increase the radius. Same thing here. I can click on the point to get a gizmo, and this little white circle here allows me to grab it and basically move it in screen space. I'm going to pause right here and pick up in the next video, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.